The
Can,
moment you, is this on?
yeah, yeah, you have to hold it a little closer.
Yeah, it's, see, the actual process is pretty simple. The more you get to know your consumers better, and they are tougher and tougher to understand and decipher, the more you do that, it's never enough. The more you do it, you will get insights into uh, getting a path for your creative direction and your creative vision. So I think that is the most important, and it is the starting point for looking at the future of Indian IP in India or outside of India. Now, if you want to take Indian IP outside of India, I mean, something with a soul, Indian soul outside of India, you need to also know outside of India, how do people, kids or others consume media? What do they think of it? Uh,
Yeah.
it's pretty straightforward that way, but it's the toughest thing too.
Yeah. So what do you suggest the Indian IP creators, along with you are doing, when you design this model, do you consider many of these aspects? Because you come with that intelligence of various markets also.
No, absolutely. It's no easy task. For us, the starting point was to first crack the market you are in to begin with. How successful are you in your own home market? Uh, and I think while we have all come a very long way, there is still a very long way to go, where you can all proudly say, look, we have cracked India fully. I mean, from a creative side, from a demographic side, with kids and adults, from an economic side, there is still a very long way to go. But with the amount of projects which have been done, successful or otherwise, it's no longer 5 years back in this forum where I said, I mean, we've done almost nothing. So it's still a very long way
Long
out,
way to
and
go.
then you move out of India and see what you can do. I mean,
Absolutely. So keeping both the points together, you need to continue to create content constantly to keep the momentum going, because you need to build those libraries to move forward from India to make a story happen. And my next question is to Rajiv. Having actually taken initiative into large amount of exploitation of the content like Chota Bheem, today you see every single kid for the birthday party would like to have a Chota Bheem birthday theme. Uh, they would like to wear Chota Bheem t-shirts. You've created 5,000 outlets, distribution system, 30 own outlets all over the country. My question to you is that, having created this whole ecosystem, uh, one would require more content to come in. And do you think, like having created about 6 or 7 IPs in the last 1.5 decades, uh, more so in the last 7 to 10 years, do you see you changing your mind in creating Indian IP, not to start with television series, but to start with maybe a comic book or maybe a toy or maybe anything else? And do you see, because you also have an ecosystem of distribution today, and one could start an Indian IP not only through creating television series or a feature film, but also other modes, and are you looking at something like this?
Yeah, I think. Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, perfect. I think definitely. See, when we thought about Bheem, like I always mention that it took us almost 5 years to make the idea work. And when Chota Bheem worked, it's not just us that made it work. It's also a lot of efforts from the team of Pogo, like Krishna said, back it up. So the first season was 13 episodes. The second season was 13, third season was 13, and bang, 39 episodes was the fourth season. So when you start, it's no one knows actually what is the right path. We we have gone. We always tried many paths, and one of the safest path as of today is go directly to television, and then if you see the audience reaction, do they love it or not, and then you get instant feedback because of TRPs. You know people are liking it or not, and then take it in different ways. When you take comic books, like you start with a comic book, there is a certain time for the market to react. Yes, on YouTube, you may get a lot of hits, but the actual sales, when it happens and you get the money back, so that's a 6 month cycle. So by the time you get your money back, then you realize how much you've sold, what is your inventory. So there, so many calculations happen, and then it takes you at least 2 years to realize whether your property is a hit property. Till today, example, we have sold. When we started, we thought we were losing money on the comics, and we really thought, what the hell are we doing? Because the inventory was getting huge, and comics are heavy to store. But we realized when we did calculations, we realized that we have already sold 2 million copies of Chota Bheem comics. So when we saw the 2 million comics and then we started, thank you, when we started to analyze things, we realized that one of the reasons that we have been able to make our brand stronger was this presence in the market by different products, like you said, T-shirts or
Birthday
other
gifts.
products, birthday
Yeah.
gifts and all. So all this happens when you have something central, and then kids also would like to feel and touch what their favorite character is. So when you think, like when we started merchandise on Chota Beam, we didn't know it is going to be a phenomenon or close to that. So we just went about it, followed our gut feeling and released the comics in the market. We had no clue that we are going to end up with 3,000 products 4 years later. But we went about it and did it anyways. So it's important to try. And in now coming to films, I think last 2 years we've released two films, Chota Bheem and the uh, Throne of Bali and Chota Bheem and the Curse of Damayan. The Curse of Damayan is the highest Indian animated grosser ever, and the second Indian animated highest grosser is Chota Bheem and Throne of Bali. Third is Hanuman. Not fair to compare to Hanuman because it was 2004
Yeah.
and the screen's multiplex was different. But in any case, today still we are trying to crack the theatrical model. But it's a fast story. But when we did Damayan, we didn't crack the model. Although the collections were more in Damayan, we lost money on the movie. While in Bali, we learned to leverage that. So when we made Bali, on paper we won, and we made 20% of what we've invested, 20% profit. So so we now know that okay, like Shemaru Jay said, we can now also plan to do one movie a year because now we are confident how to do it. And 2012 we had Bali and Damian and then Bali, and now this year we are taking a risk by saying, okay, let's not just do Chota Bheems. I mean, we don't want people to think, or for us also it's a creative challenge. We are not born only, it's not only about Chota Bheem, we have to do content. So we are now trying a Mighty Raju movie, and it's called Mighty Raju Rio Calling, and most likely we're going to work with Turner and so uh, we are looking, what we're doing is again, we're trying to understand what's happening in 2014. So we are sending Mighty Raju to Rio, and it's in next year in Rio there is a World Cup, and soccer is a worldwide. It's going to be a phenomenon next year in 2014. A lot of things going to happen. So we timed the movie like that we release the movie in theaters 3 weeks before, and 6 weeks later it's released. It's going to be on television when the quarterfinals are just going to be on. So we're planning things right now, but again we do not know whether a product like Mighty Raju would work with great screenplay and different kind of things. So this is the first attempt. So I don't know what will happen. But while we were making this, then we are also thinking what next for us. What should we be doing the next thing? And we are definitely thinking we can do a brand new movie with no background of any television or this thing, a comic or whatever. So we're going to try doing that probably the year after, and I don't know what the result is going to be.
So, shall I derive that you've not answered my question. My question is that whether you're looking at, apart from film and television, are you looking at any other mode of building an Indian IP? Because you have the distribution system into 5,000 stores.
Not in
50,000
today's day, but 2 years later, we are going to attempt that.
Okay.
At the moment, no.
Yes, I come to our friend Nishit. Nishit, having done a great film and winning a national award on the film, Delhi Safari, and I really see that the way many countries have lapped it up, like Russia and China, and you can throw some light when you do. One of the key factors is that I have two questions for you. One is that having gone through that life cycle, how do you think that an Indian should look at creating an IP when they want to create the next IP? What are the learnings that they should look at? And what are the exploitation areas that they should plan for while they're creating the IP or designing that IP? Second is, we have recently been to the Korean licensing show, character licensing show. And we learned that the preschool is really, really strong, and that's where the largest amount of licensing and merchandising revenues stick on, because the kids over a period of time, as they grow more than 8 to 10 years, their interests are fast changing and they're turning towards the gaming and all. And I'll come to some of the gaming questions in time to come. But how do you see India and Indian IP in the absence of a large amount of preschool properties that really is trying to look at growing, and you don't have a support for a preschool property to succeed in the medium as of today? Whereas we have seen a large number of Korean properties who actually were only characters and merchandise, and till date many of these properties have not even been into animation. Some of these properties are now becoming animated properties, but they have existed as characters in the market for more than 20-30 years. So can you throw some light on these two areas?
I think I'll try and answer your second question first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that I understand that there is no well-defined preschool structure in the country, like you are talking about Korea and other thing. And I think preschool kids are the most innocent population that you can find in the world. You know, if you create something that is beautiful, that is nice, that is interesting, they are just going to lap it up without any reservation. So it is very important that we understand how to create something like this. And probably, as I'm not the best person to probably answer the preschool thing, because we have, as a company, what we have worked is as a feature film which we believed would travel the world, and we would create a certain kind of segmentation for our company in the animation industry. We were not looking at that space, but I think after having traveled and met a lot of successful people like him all over the world, I think we have realized that there is a market and there is a potential for doing something. I think that the problem with most of the people who are creating IP is they are not, I don't think everybody understands the significance of business. Now, when we have created the film in India, we may have won the national award, but we needed Shimaru to distribute the DVDs. It's very easy to think that I can just replicate DVDs at home and ship them online, and at fraction of a cost that we would license with somebody to do. But that is not how it works. There are people who know that business, they are doing this for a living, they understand something better, and it comes at a price, it comes at a cost. You need to go to the people who know, and I'm sure that there are people like him and other people around here who have, I think KD is a great guy who understands the markets, who understands the minds of the children. Sometimes we are so close to what we create, we do not see, you need to really be little away to see the whole picture. We are too close, and everybody wants to make a great film, for example. I have seen lots of horrible movies. That's the truth. So the thing is that we are sometimes so close and passionate about what we want to create. We really ignore everything. We just believe if Rajiv could create Chhota Bheem and he could make such a successful story, I'll also create a cute character and I'll also become as successful as Rajiv. But very few people probably in this room and outside know what he has gone through to make Chhota Bheem what it is today. So I think that if we understand and learn from people who know this, and there are characters which, like you rightly mentioned, toys and other areas where who have exploited the preschool market, which if we can collaborate, we can partner with people. This business is not Rambo. We cannot do this alone. We need an ecosystem. We need partners who understand things which we are not good at, and we need to sacrifice our ego. We need to sacrifice our IP in a certain way and not hold on to something. People make Bibles, people make showreels. They say, I don't want to show it to anybody because they will take it away from me. I mean, I think if you don't show it to anybody, it's going to just remain on your computer. So I think we need to really understand this, and I would imagine that if we learn to collaborate with people who understand that market, we would be able to create a lot of interesting IPs in partnership with people like Shimaru and KD, I would really imagine.
Great. That comes to another question that I have, was predominantly if you see Ninja Hattori or Pokemon and many of these properties, They actually were never built with an intention that it would go international. Japan was always a very inward-looking country. They created comic books for themselves. They created animation for themselves. They ended up creating year after year, and it actually came up with about 400, 500, 600 episodes. And it was a very lucrative offer for many channels who would like to build brands. And when I talk to many of the programming directors, they say that we need property which can actually have 100 plus, 200 plus episodes, because that's how it becomes a brand. Because with short episodes, it's 26, 20, 13 episodes, it doesn't become a character brand, because they also have a slot they need to market and build it over a period of time to build that character ecosystem around the whole character environment and the character show. So, they were never built like that, but eventually when they had big libraries, it did go. And do you think something like this would work for India? When you go on creating some of these IPs like this, and this question to our friend from Shemaru,
All right, so I'll keep coming back to the same points I touch upon, right? I just want to expand on one thing that Nish said, and it's an important lesson, I think for the entire creative industry to understand. What we are trying to do is not art.
Yeah.
What we are trying to do is where commerce meets creativity. Anyone who forgets that, except for 1 out of 100, will break that rule and still work. But everyone else who forgets that, 99 are doomed to failure. It's not pure commerce. Nobody sets out to make a 100 crore film. And it's not pure creativity. It is where commerce meets creativity, right? And when you wear that hat is when things work. The other thing, and it's interesting that you touch upon Ninja Hattori, and in general we're talking about anime. I think this is one of the, I personally in our journey, we feel that in 6 or 7 years back when we were speaking to people in the creative industry, this was a problem, right? And I will say this candidly, because, I touched upon that, the quality of Bal Ganesh or the quality of a Bal Hanuman 2 which we distributed, right, in terms of technical brilliance was not great. And I know, as a person in the industry, I was looked down upon. I did not win any awards. People sort of looked down upon, like, that's what they made, right? Because it's like, it wasn't technically brilliant. And we're still pointing at anime and forgetting that anime actually, and you understand this better, y'all actually do animation production. Anime as a concept started as a way to have low cost production really fast. I mean, the whole style was created to do more reuse of scenes, less in-betweeners, etc., right? Anime was created as a style, not as a creative choice, but as a commercial/creative choice to be able to quickly churn out episodes at a low cost, which that market could sustain. As you said, they made 300, 400 episodes only thinking about Japan.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, it started to get into the rest of the world through other mediums, right? So that's really what you have to look at. You have to look at, are you doing it within the bounds of what you can do? And also, how are you seeding the market? You touched an interesting point about, is it that we have to go from films or we have to go from TV into other things? No, in fact, Sharad talked about that. The 18 Days started life on YouTube and is going on to TV.
Yes.
Super K, by the way, was not premiered on, did not make a theatrical release in India. Super K actually was premiered on Yahoo, right? The first Indian animation feature to premiere online. Then moved into TV, but still sold 100,000 DVDs in the US and still made it to a Brazilian TV station, right? But we used online as a way to get out there, get known, and understand the audience. As Rajiv said, the cycle is faster to understand that. So really, that's what you have to talk about. And it's not that IPs only have to come from here. IPs can come from comics, IPs can come from toys in India. Yeah. But you have to ask the question, how many toys original are made in India because there is a sustained market for it? How many characters can you reel off the top of your head that you recognize? How many Indian toys do you recognize off the top of your head? Right? If you aspire to do only art, or if you aspire to leap too far ahead, then you'll end up with missteps. And there are other Indian comic characters that haven't transcended because they made those missteps. You straight away aim for the sky or you aim for art.
I would say that there's a market exists for both, because you're building those with a very big foresight. Like when we built Little Krishna, we never built it beyond 13 episodes because we built it with partnership with ISKCON. And it had to be of a high quality because it has to be a point of reference. And it will, lot of channels came and told me, ki, give us 100 episodes of Little Krishna. Boss, we would like to stick to the legendary stories, so we don't want to go and create a fiction out of it. So it's a call you need to take as an IP
Absolutely.
creator. So I think it's not that you can throw that other point of high quality content coming out of India out of the door. It's basically that's a long standing, and let me tell you one thing. That's one content which is even today making the largest amount of money on the DVD sales, online sales, and through the temples all over the world. And it will continue to sell. The issue is that there is a following for that character, and that character would always go on, and all Indian families would love to have it, and it's the only character which is going beyond the Indian people of Indian origin. So you need to really see that both the ecosystems really have, they might have different objectives of distribution and different parameters of success. But the thing is that these are thing, and that comes to the second question, which is probably the last question, then I'll open it to the audience, is to Sharad.
Just to clarify one thing, I'm not saying high quality is not possible. I'm saying the quality and the commerce has to match.
It has to
the
be
quality,
planned.
the quality that Little Krishna did or the quality that Super K did are supported by those commercials.
Absolutely.
The quality that some of the other things that we do. I mean, so you've made Little Krishna, but you've also made Shaktiman, and you know that both those budgets are different. But the
Yeah,
commerce for both of them supports. it.
Even Shaktiman was made with an objective that it will go international as a Sun Warrior.
Absolutely.
And it has to sustain. It's not going to end with
Absolutely.
26 episodes. It's going